What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel, Yak Nasty Fishing. You know where you're at. And today, we're going to be talking about a controversial topic. Yeah, the Northern Snakehead. Is it invasive species or game species? Before we get started, I just want to give a shout out to a local business. You've heard me shout them out here before. Yes, indeedy, the House of Coffee. Yeah, man, me and the wife, I've said it before, we go every Saturday morning and we stop in during the week just to get that peace and quiet, man, just to go get that nice ice cold latte. Or in the wintertime, you want that hot coffee, all right? You want a snack? They got the snacks. It is a nice, quiet, quaint little spot tucked away in the middle of the busy. Yeah, guys, the House of Coffee. I'm telling you, if you're in the Dover area, check them out. It's a great place to stop in, great people, and yeah, I support them. So support a local business today. House of Coffee. Also, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. Oh my goodness, all the comments down below I've been getting. And I just really have to say thank you for all the love and support. And yeah, let's keep growing this thing. We're not even there yet, man. And you know, I'm just receiving a lot of love from a lot of other anglers out there. Yeah, if you're new here, hit that like, hit subscribe, and then leave a comment down below, man. Holler at your guy. I appreciate it. So guys, today we are talking about the Northern Snakehead. Now, some of you may have heard about the Northern Snakehead if you're in my area on the East Coast, the Delmarva Peninsula, all right, Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia waters is what it consists of. And the snakehead has been gaining a lot more traction, not only in the publicity of it being an invasive species that seems to be spreading across the eastern shoreboard here, it's also gaining popularity in the tournament fishing game. All right, guys. So, hey, the Northern Snakehead. For those that don't know about it, or if you just want to brush up on it, I'm going to give a little background about the Northern Snakehead. Now, the Northern Snakehead is native to Asia. Of course, they have many different species of snakeheads, all right? But the one we're talking about today, the Northern Snakehead, I do believe primarily comes out of South Korea area. And this fish can be identified by its long torpedo-shaped body, all right? Really long dorsal fin and anal fins, really large mouth that carry dense, sharp teeth, okay? This guy has a head on him, my gosh, and those teeth, whew, you don't want to get caught in those jaws, man. This fish has some of the more sharp, denser teeth of any fish I've seen outside of sharks and, you know, your barracudas, your saltwaters. But as far as freshwater fish, this guy has a very vicious mouth, okay? Very sharp teeth, very, very dense teeth. So they're not just gonna break off on you. This guy is biting and he's holding on, okay, guys? This fish also can be seen and identified by its signature snake-like head, okay, guys? Yeah, this fish, it has brown, light and brown colors, some black mixed in, and it's more of like a mosaic snake-like pattern. It is a very beautiful fish and ugly fish at the same dang time. I don't know how you describe it. I guess it would be like a barracuda or something like that. It's an ugly fish, but it is very majestic and beautiful at the same time. I don't know, guys. I don't know what you make of that. Right? So that is just some characteristics. It is a very aggressive carnivore. All right. This fish eats meat, only living meat. Okay. It's not a scavenger. It chases bait fish. It chases small mammals, birds. All right. This fish is very, very aggressive, territorial, and it will eat anything it can get its teeth into. All right, guys. And another characteristic, and now this is a big one, I saved the best for last, is this fish can breathe air. Yeah, yeah, air breathing fish. Crazy talk, all right? And this fish it can travel. It can travel quite a ways. Oh yeah, even across land. Oh my goodness. Yeah, yeah. Now you see why I saved the best for last? This fish can cross a vast distance on land, okay? And it can live up to 4 days out of water. Now, if that ain't a little bit creepy, okay? You see a snakehead just trotting along your backyard, you're just glad it can only get to a certain size, all right? Because if they could get bigger, I think us people would have something to worry about, all right? But this fish, its preferential habitat is stagnant water, swamp-like, shallow water conditions, all right? Preferably lily pads, scum ponds, stuff like that, that have, some kind of cover on top of the water, your grass, stuff like that, guys. And don't get it twisted, though. This fish is known to set up in rivers, canals, lakes, and ponds. Doing research on this guy, and when I first got into it, probably about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when I first started to really get interest in the snakehead, doing research on this fish, I just don't see many habitat with mild temperatures that this thing can't live in, okay? I do believe that the northern snakehead, or most species of snakehead, can survive in almost any area with mild temperature, okay? Mild, warm temperature, all right? Anything in that range, I do believe the snakehead can live and inhabit, okay, guys? So I don't think there's too many areas that are limited to the northern snakehead, except for maybe real cold areas north and south on the extreme poles maybe. But that's a few characteristics, all right, of the northern snakehead. And it sounds crazy, it sounds creepy, and it sounds monstrous, all right? In my area, the northern snakehead is found in the Chesapeake Bay, all its tributaries, all right, the Susquehanna River, all those places up north of me, James River and stuff like that of the south of me. And it's just covered a lot of distance here on the East Coast, just in the Chesapeake Bay alone. It's also been found in Delaware, all right, in the Nanticoke River, and various ponds, all right? So yeah, we've even seen it in a couple ponds in Delaware, which, I mean, I was a little bit surprised about, but after reading up on this fish a long time ago, I came to an understanding there's not much that's gonna stop this fish, right? Like I just said a few moments ago. So this fish can be found all in around the DMV. This fish can be found in Delaware, Maryland, in Virginia areas. I'm sure even in some tributaries in the lower southern parts of Pennsylvania. I do believe it's found in New Jersey as well. I haven't heard of any confirmed cases in North and South Carolina, but I have heard a story or two about anglers possibly catching one or sighting one down there. All right, but I haven't seen any articles or read anything definitively myself to confirm that. So I'm not going to confirm those, but if that's the case, this fish has spread a pretty good ways out from its original point. And I do believe that this originated on the East Coast in the area of Blackwater, okay? For anybody that is in Maryland or Delaware, you know what I'm talking about, Blackwater, Marshy Hope area, around that area. I do believe that that's where this originated from, the invasive species aspect of it, right down there, and it kind of centered out and grown from there to take over the Chesapeake Bay and its tributaries. All right, guys. With all that being said, let's go into some of the pros and cons, all right, of having the northern snakehead fish around. Now, being an optimist, I'm going to start off with the cons, all right, guys? The first con that comes to mind when thinking about the northern snakehead is it eats the native species out, okay? The bait fish, the perch, the shad, all right? Any kind of crustacean moving around there, crabs, crawfish, okay? Shrimp in the area, they're gonna eat those. I'm not sure if they eat the mussels or the clams, but I know they eat all the moving and shaking, living organisms and biomes around there, you know. Um, I don't see much that they don't eat. You figure as the very fry of the snakehead, it is eating the shrimp, okay? It's eating the very small bait fish, the minnows, things like that. And as it grows, it starts to eat bigger and bigger and bigger fish. All right, guys? So when it comes to the northern snakehead, it's eating the bait fish out. And then when the bait fish are running low or they're out of bait fish, well, you know, they're going to start eating and feeding on the young of the other pelagic fish or the other predatorial fish in that area. Okay, guys? So that is a big con when it comes to the northern snakehead and its effects on the ecosystem, right? Now, another con to the northern snakehead being around is it just has no known natural predators in the United States, being as though it is not native here. So our ecosystem is not geared to manage the numbers of the northern snakehead. And that's just a big con when, you know, the next con is they multiply quickly. All right. They mass produce and quickly, guys. I'm sweating a little bit. Yeah, these fish mass produce and they mass produce quickly. All right, the snakehead, what I was reading, it can spawn more than one time in a season. All right, and they produce numbers. All right, they will have a fry ball. I mean, and I've seen the fry balls get pretty big. All right, pretty big on average numbers, which is a fun way to locate the snakehead when you come across those fry balls. So to my understanding, they breed more than average and faster than average, guys. So that is a huge con when it comes to the northern snakehead. So it sounds like all cons so far, right? It sounds crazy. Man, it sounds like this thing may be unstoppable. Come to think about it, like, what are we going to do to manage this fish, right? It's just growing and growing, and it's in its territory, I should say, right? It's just growing on the East Coast. So, you know, I don't think it'll be long before we see them in South and North Carolina um, more frequently, I should say. All right. And I'm pretty sure they are in spots in New Jersey as well. So I don't know if they're going to go any further than that as you get into the cooler waters and cooler temperatures on the East Coast riding up north. Okay, guys. So I'm not sure if they're going to go higher than Jersey, but you never know. These guys are resilient, they're tough, and man, they can multiply. And the crazy part is another very huge con, and the last con I have here is the ability to breathe air, which means it can travel to nearby bodies of water over land. Yeah, not swimming to the nearby body of water. I mean over land, guys. Yo, this fish has been known to travel up to a quarter mile and live up to 4 days out of the water. So if you don't tell me that that's a problem, then I don't know what is, okay? This fish can travel up to a quarter mile. It could just, if it smells the water, if it, you know, I don't know how the sensory stuff works. I say smell the water, but if they sense moisture coming from this way in the wind, however their sensory organs work, they know where to go to find new water, fresh water, and new prey, okay? These fish can shake and move. And that, wow, is a pretty big con, guys. All right, guys. I know you probably are going to hear a train in the background and possibly some chickens, all right? Anything's possible. So, moving on to the pros of the northern snakehead being in the ecosystem. Well, the first pro that comes to mind is it's a good fight when you catch it. I'm telling you, it is a monstrous fight. It is one of the best fights. Man, I'm shaking right now. I want to go right now. But it is one of the best fights when you're out there fishing, man. I got to say, this fish is fun to catch. It is awesome. It is energizing. It's, man, dude, it just gets that adrenaline pumping. Another pro to the Northern Snakehead, guys. It's a great food resource. Yeah, nothing but pure white meat, guys. The Northern Snakehead is a good eating fish. Yeah, no jokes, no jokes. If you've ever tried or you get the chance to try Northern Snakehead, take that shot. This fish is awesome, flaky white meat. It is a very hearty meat. And I tell you what, if we catch this fish by the number, we can definitely help some hungry people out in the world. Why is this train messing with me today? Yeah, guys, the Northern Snakehead is a good eating fish. All right. And if we catch this fish by the numbers or we start to commercialize catching snakehead, all right, put some kind of regulation on it, we can definitely put another great food source out there on the market, and it multiplies quickly. And it would be a way to manage the numbers. So I know it is a great food source. I just caught a snakehead, a dragon, okay? A dragon is probably what? I think considered 28 inches and above is considered a dragon. So I just pulled in a dragon. I brought him home. I filleted him up. I fried that fish up, and that is a great eating fish right there, guys. Oh my gosh. Another pro to having the Northern Snakehead around is it's a fun tournament fish. It is an awesome tournament fish, man. When you go out there, you see those tournament guys catching snakeheads and they are just having a ball. It just sounds like something to get into. I haven't got into one yet, but I think 2026 is coming. I think I might have to try one or two out and see how I like snakehead tournaments, okay? I do like bass tournaments a lot. I have grown to really love bass tournaments since the very first one. It's just something I always wanted to do. And then when I got in it, bass tournaments, I was in love already. I love the fish. I'm already doing it. Just a tournament fish. I haven't won anything, but I got some awesome top 10s, and I think I got a couple top 5s right up in there. So my stats, they're improving. As each tournament goes on, I'm learning more and more, but I would definitely love to get into a snakehead tournament. See what that feels like. And then you can catch them, you can keep them, bring them home, fillet and fry. Okay, so hey, that is a double positive when it comes to the snakehead and tournament fishing, right? But I got to be honest with y'all. I don't see any ecological positives, no ecological pros to the Northern Snakehead. It seems like through research, when it hits somewhere, it really kind of ravishes the area. It tears the area up, the water, the waterway, the fishery to some pretty big extent. But at the same time, guys, I also feel that if managed properly, they will add another food source, another sport fish to the diversity of any ecosystem, okay, that they're in. So I do believe that them being there adds to the diversity. If that counts as a pro, then I guess that would be one pro, that they add to the diversity of an ecosystem, right, guys? That's probably the only pro that I can think of, as long as they don't eat everything else out of the water. But I have seen bass and snakeheads populate the same pads, all right, the same pad fields, the same grass fields, and the same areas and banks. Oh, there goes a chicken. right? But yeah, I've seen bass and snakeheads, yeah, populate the same areas and same banks uh, more than shoot on every occasion, actually. So, maybe they're not eating all of the bass, all of the perch, something to think about. Maybe there's a way that it can normalize in an ecosystem and add to the diversity of the ecosystem and hopefully get it to flourish. But I haven't seen any proof of that thus far from any research I've done on them. All right, guys. So, with all that being said, there is just one question for you guys to answer down in the comments below. Do you think the northern snakehead should be classified as only an invasive species, or do you think it should be considered as a sport fish or game fish as well? I'm curious to hear your guys' answer on that. I'm stuck somewhere, I don't want to say in the middle or on the fence. I do consider it an invasive species at this moment, okay, to be honest about it. But if we can manage the numbers and if we can manage the footprint that the snakehead can place in any ecosystem, then I would have to consider it a very, very formidable sport fish. To be honest, that's exactly where I'm at. Like right now, it's invasive. The numbers are too high. They're eating things out of the way. They're causing major rifts and shifts in ecosystems here on the East Coast. But at the same time, it's an awesome sport fish, awesome game fish. It can be a net positive if managed properly. So that would be my answer to you guys uh, when it comes to answering the question of if I think it should be classified as only invasive or invasive in sport fish or just sport fish. So I think it's totally both. And if we can find a balance, man, I think we got another sport fish to add to the diversity. And man, those tournaments are gaining in popularity. So I think we may be able to manage and call the numbers of the snakeheads if we get enough guys out there hunting and fishing for them, okay? Because Maryland spends a lot of money to get guys to go out and catch the northern snakehead. All right, guys? Now, with that being said, fishing, catching, we're going to talk a little bit about fishing for the northern snakehead because I enjoy fishing for the northern snakehead, guys. Me and my buddy Leon, we firmly believe, and I do have the footage, you're probably looking at it right now, that I've caught the Delaware state record snakehead. Yeah, guys, I caught him. I brought him on the boat, okay? Massive dragon, massive, okay? And I've caught more than one dragon. I've caught dragon after dragon in what? The course of 2 months, I think. I don't know. I'll get Leon to comment down here, but I was catching dragons. I was on a good run. And I only went out a few times this year, and I've caught crazy big fish, man. So, yeah, I know I caught that state record. I had it netted, had him right there on the deck of my kayak in the net, which was too small for this fish in the first place. I got to be honest. I thought I had a big net until I caught that fish. Yeah, then that fish showed me that I didn't have a good net at all. That thing broke my frog into 3 pieces. It tore a hole in the net and shimmied itself off the deck. Huge, huge fish, guys. Big fish. I showed a short of me losing that dragon somewhere on the channel, probably back in March, April, May, somewhere around that time. Yeah, I posted me losing that fish this year, the record snakehead. I do believe the record now is 13 pounds, but that one, that day was well over 15 pounds. That was a dragon, okay? But it's all good. I couldn't, try to claim the record because that fish did get off the deck, broke through the net, broke my frog into 3 pieces, and got away. But I did catch it. I had it, and I held on to that fish for probably about 2 minutes, maybe 3 at the most, before it got away. So I do count me as catching that fish because I did land it, okay? In my mind. It's psychological, that's all. Psychological. All right. So, yeah, fishing for the northern snakehead, as you see, gets, oh man, I'm excited. It gets me going, right? And one of the things I do have to say when it comes to catching the northern snakehead is it's a very good beginner angler fish, all right? In the sense of it's easy to catch, okay? Not easy to handle, not easy to handle. They are feisty. They will fight you to the end, and they don't care. They are mean, dude. So they are, excuse me, they are rough to handle. They're aggressive. Make sure you have some very strong fish grips. You're going to need some pliers to get your bait out of there. And they have some spreaders where sometimes these snakes, man, they are stubborn. They won't let your bait go. And it's hard to get into that jaw, dude. They are strong. All right. So they have some jaw spreaders that you might have to get as well. I have a couple buddies. This is all they do is snakehead fish. And they got those spreaders on deck and they get the frog right out of there. It's a piece of cake. I don't think I fish enough for the northern snakehead to be carrying around jaw spreaders. Yeah, I don't think I fish enough for them, but I just might get some and have them on here ready to go just in case. And you really never know what you're going to come across, so I should probably get some. All right, and I say that they're an easy fish to catch, okay, because most of the stuff you catch a northern snakehead on is going to be top water baits. Most of the stuff, all right, your whopper ploppers, okay, right there in the pads, right along that edge. Don't throw the whopper plopper in the pads, please. Just don't do it. Save yourself the hassle, okay, because you're going to have to go get it. All right, the whopper plopper, okay, another great bait, the buzz bait. You see that thing still tied. Look, I just took that off for the tournament. I had it on tournament day. All right. But that buzz bait, oh, that will get bit. The chatterbait, which I don't have one out right now, but the chatterbait is a very good bait to fish for the northern snakehead. All right. I said top water, but I kind of veered off with the chatterbait because I looked at the buzzbait. If I'm going to be honest, it made me think about the chatterbait. So the chatterbait is very good. Check out addictionbaits.com. They have good chatterbaits. They have good top water baits. Man, you can get that top water strike. All right, the frog is the number one bait you see guys fishing for snakehead, okay? They will fish a frog first. Everybody will throw the frog, okay? The frog will get you bit. They're a different kind. You see that rat style or mouse style bait. The frogs, this here was made specifically for the northern snakehead, okay? You see, a lot of them have blades on them, guys, all right? You want that little bit of flash boost. You want that vibration from that blade. And guys, oh man, those snakehead come unglued for that thing. Look at that little Targaryen frog right there. Look at that, okay? This is a more finessey frog, just like this one. These frogs are small, okay, guys? Teeny frogs. Snakeheads, you can throw a full-size frog. No big deal, okay? You will catch a big snakehead. Through my research, I found that the snakeheads over in Asia are getting caught on smaller frogs, and that seems to be the trend for snakehead fishing, is just use a little bit smaller, finessey frog, all right? Softer bodies on these frogs, guys. Oh, man. Check out this guy right here. This frog here, Targaryen baits. Check them out. Check them out. Targaryen baits, all right? Yeah, guys, I got this frog from my buddy Leon. He's on the pro staff over there at Targaryen Baits, and I haven't had time to really play with this guy yet. But look at that. Oh, my God. You see the blade? Look at that. That's a good V blade on there. Wow, the flash boost. This frog is awesome. Look at the eyes on him. Look at that, man. The pattern on it. Okay, very elaborate frog, soft body. I mean, super soft. You can't see it, you can't feel it, but this thing, it's just a super soft frog, and it's perfect for those good northern snakehead bites, because when they clamp down on it, you just give it a yanking. It doesn't take much with these super sharp hooks right here, guys. Those are razor laser sharp hooks, and they stick into the roof of that snakehead's mouth, man, with ease. And they have a very hard mouth, very hard bone structure as well in that head and skull area. So yeah, you need something that's really gonna yank them, because I've watched one break a whole frog hook. I've watched it happen right in front of my face, and I know it can be done. So you want heavy duty, hardcore frog hooks, okay? Don't be soft about it. And if you can't get your hands on any of these customs right here, Targaryen baits, addictivebaits.com or addictionbaits.com, I'm sorry. If you can't get your hands on any of those baits, get you a Z-Man, okay? A Z-Man frog. Their hooks can withstand a snakehead, all right? I've fished the Z-Mans, and they can hold down good. So I really do choose a Z-Man frog. A Berkeley Swamp Lord. They have really good hooks. Those Fusion 19 hooks. Yeah, they will fight a snakehead, and they don't bend out, guys. So those two hooks there are really good. And Targaryen baits. Check them out. Get your order in. These things are awesome, not just for northern snakeheads, but for largemouth bass as well, okay? So all of these baits are interchangeable between bass and northern snakehead. Since I'm always talking about bass here, all these baits work for bass too, okay, guys? Soft plastics that work for the northern snakehead is like a weightless fluke. Throw that thing up in the junk in the pads, okay? Weightless fluke is fantastic, and you see this is a pretty big one. I'm not using the little flukes, not the 2-3 inch flukes. I'm using the full size big ones, all right? Oh yeah. Woo. Woo. Yeah, buddy. Oh, it's a nice snake too. Any kind of underspin, right? Weedless with that crust seed mare on there, boy, it just looks good. That's a 4-inch mare. That gets bit. Fantastic bait. Another great bait is the Unitoad by Zoom. Weedless, weightless, throw that in the junk, throw that in the pads, and get bit, guys. This really works. All right, guys, a toad, traditional toad. Okay, it's kicking right up there, subsurface on the top of that water, gets bit. And you know, top water bites are one of the most exciting, most aggressive bites out there. And when you have a true monster like a northern snakehead on that bait, bro, you thought bass fishing was showing you something? That northern snakehead, man, when it gets hooked up, whoo, that's a battle, and that's a fun one. That's a nice one. Yeah. Also, weightless lizard. I just caught that last snakehead on a weightless lizard. Throw it right up there in the pads in the transition with a little bit of lumber. Oh, I'm way over here, right? With a little bit of lumber off to the side in that transition, and caught that nice 28-inch snakehead. And man, I caught that on a spinning reel. Okay, guys? Ooh, snakehead. Snakehead wants the lizard. Oh, that's a big one. That's a dragon, dude. So when it comes to equipment, since I'm talking about catching it on a spinning reel, my quantum octane combo. All right, 3000 series reel right here, the quantum octane. Okay, 7-foot medium heavy backbone. You want a medium heavy or a heavy rod when catching northern snakehead. Okay, I've watched them break rods, I've watched them break reels. These things are very strong, very aggressive, and they fight, guys. And I've seen gear get tore up. Mine, not yet, but I've watched some buddies tear up the reels, just tear them up. I've watched my buddy Rick. Yo, he caught a snakehead, man, and it broke his reel from the reel seat. I've watched a rod snap completely in half, and I've watched frogs fall completely apart. Yeah, these fish are vicious, and they will tear some tackle up. So make sure you're set up just right to deal with them, all right? And with that being said, on my spinning rod right here that I just caught the last one on, 3000, right, reel, 30-pound braid back, 30-pound braid backing, guys. Yeah, I used a pro line braid, and I have not had any issues at all with anything when it comes to that line, okay? And then on my spinning setup, I have about 20 foot of 12-pound Yo-Zuri hybrid line. Yeah, this is the exact combo I caught that thing on, okay? A 12-pound line to catch an 8-9-pound fish. This has caught bigger fish than the line test says it can catch. You've seen me do it. Yo-Zuri hybrid line, 12-pound, and it pulled that snakehead in, dude. And long as your drag is set just right and you're not in an awful position to get hung up, you don't have any issues. I haven't had any issues with this at all. And so this is my soft plastic setup when it comes to catching those northern snakehead. And this is my lizard rod, okay? I mainly just throw a lizard on here, but other soft plastics go on here as well when I just want to play around, Texas rig, and really mess and get the fishing going, or when I got to switch up. So yeah, there goes that lizard setup. You guys know it goes everywhere with me. Don't leave home without it, because when in doubt, I got to pull my lizard out. You know what I'm talking about, guys? All right, another combo that really, really shows out is this Lose. American Hero, right? The speed spool. Yeah, this right here has done so much work. And this is a 6'6" heavy rod, okay, guys? 6'6" medium heavy rod right here. And the backbone on this thing is phenomenal. This is the exact combo that I caught that record size fish on. This is what brought them on the boat right here, okay? This thing was stressing. It was, in matter of fact, look, if you see, I don't know if you guys can see, there's a little gap right here. That was from that fish, all right? That fish had this rod bent to the point where I thought it was gonna break, guys. Get over here. Dragon. Oh, that's a dragon, guys. I got a dragon. Whoa. Whoa. And it didn't, okay? This is my dedicated frog rod, okay? This is in the junk rod, straight braid, as you can see, 30-pound pro line braid on there. I've never had an issue getting anything out of the cover, out of the pads. If anything, I'd have to drag myself on the kayak to that location to get my bait or get that fish out of whatever it's in, because this line is just not breaking, okay? The same thing with the 12-pound Yo-Zuri line, man. I've towed myself through the pads on 12-pound Yo-Zuri hybrid line, guys. So yeah, this setup right here, the Lose American Hero, Very simple, 6'6", medium heavy, big, strong backbone on this right here, guys. And it has pulled in some monsters, all right? Some monsters. This setup right here, all right? And another setup that I like to show you guys, and then that also has pulled in pretty big snakehead. The swim jig right here. Oh my gosh, it caught a monster on the Nanacoke River, guys. My goodness, I'm not gonna tell you exactly where at, but this caught a nice one. The swim jig is also a very good bait to catch the northern snakehead. All right, guys, but this rod here, you see, it's the Quantum Escalade right here, guys, and it's on that Skeet Reese jig and worm rod. This is 7'4", medium heavy. 7'4", a little bit longer. It helps me get that cast out further. And this Escalade can bring in some monsters, guys. This thing puts in the work. Heavy duty work, okay? This guy puts in work. All right, so yeah, awesome combos. All three of those very sturdy, very strong. But yeah, any medium heavy. I like something with a little bit of parabolic action to it. Okay, so that's why I get medium heavy. I don't go straight heavy because when you're dealing with those pads and you're fighting around the structure and covering things like that, things can go wrong quickly. And I like that little bit of parabolic action to keep those hooks pinned in that fish's mouth if it decides to breach the surface and do a little shaking and whatnot, you know what I mean? So I do prefer a little bit of parabolic action with that. Yeah, guys. So yeah, that's what I do to catch the northern snakehead. And yeah, I know for many it's a controversial topic, but at the same time, I don't really see the huge issue unless we just can't control or manage the numbers. But the northern snakehead is gaining popularity in tournaments and recreational fishing. So I believe that we're going to be able to control these numbers. But yeah, man, if you get the chance, if you're in Maryland, Delaware, Virginia, or nearby areas where you can take a 4, 5, 8-hour ride to get here to the Chesapeake Bay and its tributaries. So yeah, guys, the northern snakehead fish is an awesome fish to go catch. And yeah, if you can get here and fish for the snakehead fish, I suggest you do it, man. It is an awesome fish to catch. It is beautiful. It's majestic. It is invasive, but it also is gamey. I don't know. It's hard to really explain. But yeah, I suggest you go out and try to catch some. If you get in the area, do that. I highly recommend it. You will have one of the best times of your life catching a monstrous freshwater fish, guys. So I guess that's my time. And with all that being said, guys, till next time, tight lines and all that good stuff everybody says. Peace. This one's gonna be a long one.